Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. In the previous class, few people remind, we discussed about negotiated market. Then after that we discussed about OTC market, means over the counter market. And then after that we discussed about Nasdaq Composite and Nasdaq 100 index. The next thing, it is in-house trading. What is in-house trading? A trade that occurs within a brokerage. What does it mean? In an in-house trade, a broker who receives an order from a customer to buy a security does not find an outside seller, but rather fills the order from within the brokerage's own inventory of the security. Basically, here is a broker. Middleman. On this side there are sellers, on this side there are buyers. Suppose a buyer wants to buy a security, so keep in mind he will contact the brokers, and broker will find a seller for this buyer who want to, suppose this buyer want to purchase shares of Samsung, but there is no outside seller. So buyer give order to this broker that I want to buy shares of Samsung, but broker will find a seller, but he didn't find any seller who want to sell shares of Samsung. So now what will he do? This broker, he has his own inventory in which he has shares of lots of companies. Now what will he do? This broker will sell his own inventory, means he has shares of Samsung. So what will he do? He will sell his own shares to this buyer. So this is basically called in-house trading. So what is in-house trading? In in-house trading, buyers gives order to the broker. Broker will find a seller, but this broker, he was unable to find any seller who want to sell shares of Samsung. So what will he do? He, from his own inventory of stocks, he will sell shares to this buyer. This is basically called in-house trading. So now see, a trade that occurs within a brokerage. In an in-house trade, a broker who receives an order from a customer to buy a security does not find an outside seller. He doesn't find an outside seller. So when he didn't find an outside seller, rather fills the order from within the brokerage's own inventory, and from his own inventory, this broker also has his own inventory of the security. This may or may not result in the best price for the client. Maybe this will be a good price for the client or not, but is almost always profitable for the brokerage. If there is no outside seller available, so this trade will be beneficial for the brokerage. Why? At what price you want to sell, the buyer will buy. So this trade will be profitable for the broker basically. Then there is another index, and the name of this index is Standards and Poor's 500. Basically, this is also a rating agency. A rating agency means an agency that is rating the companies. An index of 500 stock chosen for market size, liquidity and industry grouping. Basically, this S&P 500, it is an index. On this index, there are 500 companies listed, and these companies are selected on the basis of market size, liquidity, and industry grouping. Industry is also important when they are selecting companies from different industries. They are also checking the liquidity of the securities. They are also checking the market size of the security on which these shares are traded. The S&P 500 is designed to be a leading indicator of US. Basically, it is a leading index of the United States of America, on which these top 500 companies are listed and their shares are traded. Now, if the performance of a company is weak, so it will be out from this 500 index, and a new company whose performance is good will be entered in this 500 index. So it is on the basis of the performance that the shares of a company will be traded on this S&P 500 index. If the performance is not good, so the shares of that company will be out of this 500 index, and a new company will be entered in this S&P 500 index. Companies included in the index are selected by the S&P Index Committee. There is an index committee, S&P Index Committee. They are choosing the companies. A team of analysts. And what is this committee? There is a team of analysts and economists. There are analysts and economists at S&P 500. The S&P 500 is a market value weighted index. Each stock's weight is proportionate to its market value. What is weighted index, market value weighted index? Later on we will discuss about this in detail. Here I am not going in detail of this thing. So just keep this thing in mind, that in this S&P 500 index there are 500 companies listed. How many companies? 500 companies are listed on this S&P 500. And who is selecting these 500 companies? S&P Index Committee. S&P Index Committee. In this committee there are economists and analysts who are selecting these top 500 companies. S&P Index Committee. And this S&P Index Committee, there are analysts and there are economists. They are selecting these top 500 committees, and this selection is on the basis of market size. It is on the base of the liquidity, and there is also another factor, that is the industry grouping. Different industries, they are selecting these from different industries. And I told you, if the performance of a company is not good, it will be out of this 500 index, and a new company whose performance is good will be included in this 500 index. Then there is another index, and the name of this index is Dow Jones Industrial Average. If you will open the New York Stock Exchange website or American Stock Exchange website, then you will find Dow Jones, S&P, and these things. The Dow Jones Industrial Average is a price-weighted average of 30 significant stocks. This is an index of top 30 companies listed on the New York Stock Exchange and the Nasdaq. The DJIA was invented by Charles Dow back in 1896, and it was initially invented by Charles Dow in 1896. And keep in mind, initially there were only 12 companies included in this Dow Jones Industrial Average, and now later on, now there are 30 significant stocks, means top stocks, the best stocks are listed on this Dow Jones Industrial Average, and their shares are traded on this index, and these are listed on Nasdaq and New York Stock Exchange. Market index point. Basically, what is this? Keep in mind how the share prices are set. Keep in mind, for each and every index there is a specific point. I will give you the example of KSE 100 index. In this KSE 100 index, there is a base point. 1000 is the base point. What does it mean? If the prices go above this, means the stock exchange is performing good. If the prices go below this, means the stock exchange is going down. This 1000 point, I told you, this is the base point. Now what does this base point mean? Suppose there is a company whose share, suppose a company, their issued shares are 1 lakh, and today their price is $50. So now calculate this. So we will get 0, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and 5. So see, their total market value, it is 5 million, means 50 lakh. Now this is today, suppose this is today's price. Now tomorrow, what happened? Number of shares are same, 100,000, but the price goes up to 52. So it becomes 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. So this is their total value today. See, yesterday the value of their shares, it was 5 million, but today its value is 5.2 million. Now how will we calculate that the market is going up or market is coming down? We will take today's value. Okay, here today divided by yesterday and multiplied by this 1000 base. I told you we will compare the values, we will compare the index with this 1000. Now check, what was today's value? 52 million. 1 2 3 1 2 3 divided by yesterday. So yesterday the value was 50. 1 2 3 1 2 3 and multiply it by 1000. Now see, I'm going to find calculator. Here is. Now check. See, these zeros will be cancelled out. So 52 divided by 50 multiplied by 1000. So it will be what? Which is equal to 1040. So means market goes 40 points up. Market goes 40 points up. I just took the example of one company. In index, they are taking weighted average of all the companies, all the 100 companies listed on the stock exchange. Means they will make this calculation for all 100 companies listed on the stock exchange, and on the base of that they will say that the market goes up or the market comes down. See, suppose this is company number 1, so they will make this calculation. Then there will be company 2, they will make the same calculation. Then there will be company 3, they will make the same calculation. 4, similarly like this, of 100 companies, so on, and company number 100. And then they will calculate the weighted average. They will calculate what? The weighted average, and then they will multiply that with 1000. I'll leave it 1000. We did that 1000 here. So they will calculate all, they will make all complete calculation. Then on the base of that they are saying that market is going 40 points up, or market is coming 50 points down, or 2 points down, or 1000 point up. So this is the meaning of basically this thing. So see, in the previous example our base was how much? 1000, but because the prices goes up, so our index goes to 1040. So this means that market is performing well and market goes 40 points up. So this is basically what market index point. Basic divisor, suppose for the KSE 100 index calculation at any time, involves the same multiplication of share price. See, first you will multiply share price and shares outstanding, and outstanding shares, 100,000 shares outstanding, we multiply it with share price. For each of the KSE 100 index component stocks, for all these 100 companies we will make the same calculation. The aggregate market value is divided by the base value. See, the yesterday value and today value. today's value will be divided by yesterday value and multiplied by 1000. 1000 is the base I told you to arrive at the current index number. So you will get an index number. So we got an index number of 1040. So this shows that Market goes 40 points up. So inshallah, in the next class, if there is some problem, then you can message me in the WhatsApp if you didn't understand this calculation. So then I will repeat that thing for you. Okay, have a good time.